is we decided to partner here with the gallery and do a ultimate smoothie demo for you to teach you how to up your nutrition and help prevent disease. So I want to introduce, my name's Malee Simpson, and I want to introduce my partner because he's going to start off. This is Lance McGowan. He is the Tropical Smoothie Guy on Instagram, Facebook, and he has hundreds, thousands of followers and does a lot of social media for other nutrition companies, Green Smoothie Grill as well. So he's got lots of recipes and he has a lot of knowledge because I think he's watched every documentary on nutrition 5 times or 10 times over. So he's kind of self-taught, which is, I think, the best way to learn. So I'd like to kick off by giving you a handout so you can follow along real super easy. We try to make it super simple, kindergarten easy to learn. And we also have a sign-up sheet if you would like to get, we're going to send some recipes. We also have a full color handout that we could send a digital copy as well. And then we also do classes monthly at various locations around town. So we do plant-based cooking classes. We do smoothie classes similar to this, and we also do a class on essential oils. So we have 3 different options. You can check all 3 or just check what you're interested in. So I'll pass this around and let you sign up if you're interested. So we let Lance take it away and get us started.
Thank you very much, Malee, and thanks everyone for coming, and again, thanks Dorothy and Neal for hosting us. Really appreciate it. I like to say that, you know, these are masterpieces among you. These are works of art, and your body is the same. Your body is a masterpiece. Your body is a work of art, and we're just trying to appreciate both a little bit more through information. And so, with your handout, we're just going to cover how to make the ultimate green smoothie. And with a show of hands, how many of you have ever had a green smoothie before? Okay, about 3/4, 80%. Okay, that's cool. All right, so we're going to start with the problem first. So I'm going to be a little Donald Downer, but keep it real at the same time. Okay, so here's the problem. Yeah, thank you for the sound effects. So what's the problem? The problem is the standard American diet and chronic Western disease. And you can see a little pie chart here. So the pie chart here says processed foods make up 63% of the standard American diet. Processed foods are hamburger, hot dog, pizza, French fries, all the stuff we've come to know and love most or all of our lives. But animal foods is 25%, so that's beef, chicken, dairy, eggs. And then plant foods, the lowly little plant foods here, only makes up 12% of that pie chart. And this is what's leading to chronic Western diseases. And so what we have here is a did you know? So processed foods destroy your endocrine system. Your endocrine system consists of hormone regulating glands that stimulate your metabolism, so think energy, reproduction, blood pressure, and your appetite. So when our endocrine system gets destroyed, all those things can be negatively affected. And all that leads to the 5-headed dragon of chronic Western disease. So heart disease is number 1, so that's heart attacks and strokes. Then you have breast cancer, prostate cancer, diabetes, specifically type 2, and then obesity. And I'll speak from my own personal experience about how I grew up and why I'm passionate about what I do. My dad, he passed away in 1997 due to throat cancer, but he had an allergic reaction to the chemo. And I remember he was in the James Cancer Hospital, and I was about 10 years old at the time. He was 47 when he passed, but before he passed, he used to always cut my hair, and you can't tell now, but all the hair's gone. But yeah, he used to always cut my hair growing up, and I just asked him, I was like, hey Dad, when are you gonna cut my hair? And he just turned like ever so slightly to me, and he couldn't talk, and just a tear came down his eye. And that for me was like the last time that I realized things wouldn't be the same. And he passed shortly after that. So for me, and then on top of that, my mom, she got triple bypass surgery when I was about 14 years old. So she's on a number of medications today for blood pressure, cholesterol, stomach pain, and she's been diagnosed as pre-diabetic. So I have a very challenging family history, and that's just 2 of my family members. Like every one of my family members has been affected by one of these things here. So, and I just was like, hey, I don't want to go down that path. So what's one solution? One solution is the 30-day green smoothie challenge. So that is what we're gonna make here today. And we have it in a format where we're kind of making it and talking at the same time. So you kind of get all of that once. And we try to break it up in easy to learn steps. Because we want to make this so easy that a kid can do it and a kid will enjoy it. And some of us are big kids, but it's cool. Okay, so the ratio you'll see here is a third greens, or a third liquid, and a third fruit. That's the ratio. If you stick with that, this smoothie will always taste good. If you go like 50% greens or something like that, it's going to be better for you, but the flavor's not going to be there as much. So we always want to make sure that you're going to want to eat this or want to drink this. And this is basically a liquid salad. That's one way to think of it. And so what we're going to do is add 1/3 water to a high-powered blender. And here's a quote by Dr. John Harvey Kellogg. He lived to be 91 years old. I don't know too many people who were able to live that long, but he knew what he was talking about. And he said that, oh, okay, this is somebody that knows. The average life expectancy in the U.S. is actually 75 years. And so to live to 91 is very, it's possible. But 90% of modern diseases are due to colon problems. And so if something's not going right down in your digestion, it's probably because of something that we're eating that's causing it, or not enough of the good stuff to help our body heal from the inside out. So there's a combination. Too much of the bad, not enough of the good. We're going to be focused on getting the good in here. So the Blendtec or Vitamix, these are like the Cadillac or Lincoln of blenders, and this liquefies the whole foods to water-like consistency for easier drinking and breaks down the cell walls for better absorption. So it's basically pre-digesting your food so that your cells can get all those nutrients and energy instead of having to focus on breaking down those fibrous tissues or not getting it fully digested. It takes more energy. Because if you think about like meat, like a steak or chicken, very fibrous tissue, imagine trying to get that to this water-like texture. The only way to do that is chew it for a really long time or blend it up. Either way, it's taking a lot of energy. And so what we're doing is we're just getting everything down to water-like consistency, so it's just really easy to digest. Okay, and then the next step is we're going to add some greens. So it's a third greens, and why would you put greens in? Because you get fiber, it says here, you get enzymes. Enzymes break down your food as well. You get omega-3s, we'll talk about the benefits of those, and you get a high protein percentage. Some people are like, well, hold on, Lance, time out. With all this vegetable stuff, how am I going to get enough protein, right? We got to get enough protein. And one of the first things I encourage people to look at is look at an elephant, look at a rhino, look at a hippo, look at these animals. How did they get so big? Were they chasing down gazelle and eating steaks and chicken? No, they're eating plants. So plants have all the amino acids. Think amino acids as building blocks. Those are the building blocks to build the house of protein. And spinach is roughly 49% protein per calorie. That is more than beef, chicken, or eggs. And the reason is because beef, chicken, or eggs are really higher in calories. And so you're actually getting more fat with your calories from meat instead of actual protein. And then you can lose up to 50% of your protein by cooking it as well. So you're getting even less protein. And then when you char grill it, barbecue it, then it becomes carcinogenic. And so then it starts to mutate your cells. So what we're doing is we're focusing on a raw form that's really low calorie, high percentage of protein, but because it's so low in calorie, we got to eat more of it to get the same amount of protein. So granted, it is less protein than quote unquote meat, but it's a higher percentage of protein per calorie, which is really good. Okay, and then what we're going to do is add a cup. So she put in already the Swiss chard, and we have some collard greens, so you can mix it up. You got spinach, you got kale, chard, and then collard greens. These are going to be very nutrient dense, very low calorie. So we're just going to blend it up. Okay, so that is nice consistency for us. And then we're going to add in what I like to call the fruit, the sweetness of it. So it's a third fruit is the ratio. What this is giving you is enzymes. So when you hear enzymes, think break down your food. It helps to break down your foods properly. You're getting fiber. You're getting flavor with the fruit. So basically you would choose 2 to 3 options to the right here. So we're going to put in a banana, an apple, and then some mixed berries here. And we choose organic ingredients because there's no pesticides, there's no herbicides. Those are toxic to the body, and so we want to avoid toxins. We're trying to detox our body with all these ingredients, not add more toxins. And then the fiber from these things pushes the bulk out, so it helps with your digestion. And then most of us are pretty deficient in fiber. We're only getting on average 11 grams of fiber per day, but what's recommended is 40 grams of fiber per day. And so you're gonna get roughly about 25 to, let's see, no, you're gonna get 15 grams with this whole thing right here. So you're gonna get roughly a third of it. But you can kind of see why, back to this quote, why most health issues are due to colon problems. If we're not getting enough fiber, then we're not gonna be able to push it out. If it doesn't get pushed out, it's gonna linger. And so we want to have constant flow. Like you think about how money flows, how water flows. If anything stays stagnant, specifically in our body, it's not good. We always want things to flow properly.
She does not measure the amount.
I'm noticing that too, she doesn't measure. You said because you're used to doing it?
Yeah, I've been doing it so many years,
So how
so.
much of that should have gone in there for those that haven't been doing it for many years?
We will send you a recipe if you, and there is
Oh, okay.
a recipe
Well, this
on
is,
there as well, right?
yeah, this is it. So basically, she's, instead of putting 2 to 3 of these options, we're putting basically like 3 or 4.
Well, because we're all gonna taste it, so we're sharing it, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
and we're making more. This is more than
So I
a
get a
quart.
16 ounce glass then.
Yeah, this is 16 ounces right here.
You're getting big.
So the
You can have second.
in thirds, so there's enough around to go
The
around.
guy in size is there, 16 ounces, right?
Yeah, so this is gonna
I
make,
thought that was 8 inches.
That's what I meant.
alright, yeah, this is gonna make like 40 ounces, so it's like 8 ounces more. But yeah, so we're good. Alright, and then we're gonna,
Those are the packages she was putting in, Lance.
this,
You can purchase those.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
very-
frozen fruit.
Costco
Yeah.
will get you the best value for this. If you go to Sprouts, Whole Foods, or Trader Joe's, they won't be as cheap for this much.
Right.
Costco has the best value for organic mixed berries.
Triple berry blend.
Yeah, there's actually a dirty dozen. They call it the dirty dozen because it's the fruits and vegetables that get sprayed with pesticides the most. Strawberries are on that list, like cucumbers. There's a lot of stuff that gets sprayed, and you can't just wash it off that easily because a lot of that stuff is just kind of baked in. So it's good to get organic because they don't spray that.
How about did you take Sam's Club?
Sam's Club has mixed berries, and they may have some organic.
They do.
I have to double check. Do they? Okay.
Not the mixed berry, but organic blueberry.
Organic blueberries, yeah. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so berries will be the most expensive fruit, but they will give you the most fiber. So like, for example, I kind of calculated, it's like $5 or $6 per pound for the mixed berries. The apples are like $2 a pound. Bananas are like almost less than $1 a pound. And then oranges are roughly $1 or $2 per pound. And then strawberries again are like $5 or $6 per pound. So they're gonna be more expensive per pound, but think of all this as preventative health care. We're putting more money up front, so we don't have to pay on the back end with healthcare costs. So,
And they're delicious.
and they're great. Yeah, they taste great. So,
Okay, so I'm just gonna pulse this again, and then we will add some more ingredients.
cool. All right, so now we're going to talk about protein powder. So, did you know that quality protein builds lean muscle? It helps to burn fat and slows the impact of fruit sugars into your bloodstream. Did you need to know? Or did you want?
No,
You're good? Okay, cool. Visual learn. All right. Okay, so some people are like, well, hold on, you put fruit in there, isn't it going to mess with my blood sugar and all that stuff? Well, when you put high quality protein, healthy fats, and fiber, it slows the impact of that into your bloodstream. So there's no spikes. It's more just kind of an up, and then it kind of regulates and goes down. And that's kind of how I am. Like when I do green smoothies in the morning, like it goes, my energy levels are consistent, and then it kind of tapers off after 3 to 4 hours, and then I'm like, oh, I need to do something else and eat. I don't do smoothies all day, but I do smoothies throughout the day. And so I mix it up with like soup.